So good afternoon students. Welcome back to Digital Signal Processing and Application class. In today's class, I am going to explain you about digital signal processing and application, how that it's going to be used and where actually it's going to be used. So we are going to learn about it, and after that we are going to discuss the brief introduction of the theoretical part which is there for the unit 1. We are going to understand how the signal has been used and what are the types of signals we are going to use. All these kind of thing we are going to discuss in the unit 1. Okay, so before proceeding ahead, let's take a quick overview what we discussed in the previous classes. In the previous class I talk about the brief introduction of your all 5 units, unit 1 to unit 5. Then after that I have proceed with the application part, how the digital signal processing and application is going to be useful. Then later on we are going to discuss about how we are going to use the numericals for discrete Fourier transform and inverse discrete Fourier transform. We talk about it. Then later on, now we are proceeding with our complete application part of it and how it is going to work for it. Those things we are going to discuss now. So let us consider what is the digital signal. So digital signals is nothing but the combinations of zeros and ones. Those are considered to be the digital signals. It can be zeros or it can be ones. So what zeros and ones? Zeros and ones is nothing but the like a information which we are passing to our system. So system is basically is what, when we are passing a sender and a receiver from one end to the another end, we are going to get the digital form. So sender is what kind of information we are passing? We are passing a discrete form or continuous form. So continuous form is called analog signal and discrete is nothing but the digital signal. So we are going to learn about it, how it is going to work on it. So before proceeding with that, students, let us move ahead with our brief discussion of what is the definition of signal and how it is going to be used as a system. So as you can see here students, so signal is what, how do you define the signal? Signal is defined as a physical quantity that change with time, distance, speed, position, pressure, temperature or some other quantities. A signal is physical quantity that consists of many sinusoidal of different amplitude and frequencies. Normally, how do we mathematically represent? Suppose if I see this part, so suppose this is my signal, right? So what is the signal consist of? For the first one, what is consist of? It consists of x of t is equals to 10t. What is this 10 indicate? It's an amplitude where it is going to vary and how it is going to vary. That is 10. What is t indicates? It's a t domain signal. So this is what one of the type of signals. Whereas the second one x of t is represented here, 5x square 20xy plus 30y square. So this is what actually, this is also a type of signal which varying with respect to x and y. So the system, now we are proceeding with the system. So system is what? A system is a physical device that performs an operation or processing on a signal. So how do we do it? What actually we are going to use it and how we are going to deal with that. So all these things we are considering with the help of a system. So system is physical device that perform an operation or processing on a signal. Examples, we had a filters, right? As I said, we are using low pass filter, high pass filter, band stop filter, all the types of filters, right? So those are a system we are using. And amplifiers. An amplifier is also, what is the use of amplifier? Amplifier is used to increase the strength of the signal. So that is also used as a system. Clear? Next, we are proceeding with classification of signal processing. So how do we classify the signal processing? After getting the processing of the signal, we are going to understand the processing of the signal based upon the what kind of information we are passing. Whether we are processing the analog signal, then we call it as analog signal processing. In this, what we are giving? We are giving input as a signal which is in analog in nature, and we are passing with the help of, like example of that would be resistor, capacitor, inductor, operational amplifier, and etc. we are considering with the help of the analog nature. So analog nature in the sense we are putting the analog input and we are getting the analog output. So this both are in analog in nature, right? So that's the reason that particular system is used for the analog signal processor or analog signal processing type of system. Whereas digital means what, students? So digital means the input and the output, whatever we are using, it needs to be in digital form. So as an example over here, what I can say, I can say that if the input signal gives to the system in digital and the digital output we are going to get, that type of signals are used for digital signal processing. Like example for that would be digital computer, digital logic circuits, etc. Those are used for digital in nature. So as you can see, my system is what actually here, my system is digital, but In practical, we don't have digital signals, right? We are using analog signals, right? So analog signal means whatever the signal. Suppose I'm speaking something. What I'm speaking, those are in analog form, right? Those are varying with respect to time and having some specific amplitude, having certain frequency. My voice, suppose I'm speaking something that is not in digital form, right? Not zeros and ones. It is in continuous form. So that needs to be converted to in order to process with digital. So what we are using? We are using the A to D converter. What is A stands for? Analog to digital converter. So here I'm using analog in nature and digital in nature. A to D converter I'm using, students. So this is what analog input it will take and it try to convert into digital form and it is passed to the digital system. What digital system will do? Again, I cannot understand zeros and ones. No, my computer will give you zeros and ones, but I cannot understand that. I need to have the signal in the form of digital format. So for that, what I need to do it, I need to consider that particular part into the analog form. So what I'm doing, I'm using the D to A converter. So this is actually the complete block diagram, students. This is the block diagram of complete digital signal processing. Okay, they will definitely will ask you in 5 marks to explain this DSP block diagram. Okay, if they ask the theory, you will expect this kind of question. So here, most of the signals, whatever we are generating, are in analog nature. Hence, these signals are converted into analog to digital form, again to digital to analog form in order to process for digital system. Clear? So where actually are using this all type of DSP kind of signals, how we are using, where actually we are using in all types of filters, multiplier, transformer, everywhere. Wherever we are using this kind of form, so we are using this digital signal processing signals. Clear? So where we are using this, we are using in filtering, multiplication, transformation, amplification. Wherever it is useful, we are actually proceeding with DSP. Clear? So now we are proceeding with advantages of it, how it is going to work, where actually it's going to be implemented. So for that, what actually we are using? We are using a physical advantages of DSP over ASP. What is DSP? Digital signal processor. What about ASP? Analog signal processor. So digital and analog, where actually we are using? We are using both in our day-to-day life. So basically, the more advantages of DSP is there when compared to ASP. So what is the advantages of that? First is physical size of analog systems are quite large when compared to digital processor. You can compare your olden computers with nowadays computers. You are finding the difference of both, right? Olden days are we are using analog in nature. Now we are proceeding with digital form. So the kind of bulkiness was we are overcoming from that. So those are we are overcoming from your kind of bulkiness for that particular system, and functioning of that will be more, right? When you compare it with the olden systems, those functioning is not that much huge or not giving that much multitasking, whereas nowadays we are using a good kind of computers in with multitasking and can perform multi-tasks at a time. So still the size is small, right? So that's the reason we are saying ASP is quite larger than compared to DSP, and weight also, right? So in olden days we are using RLC kind of components. Now in digital form, what we are using? We are using the noise, disturbance, all are less, whereas in ASP those are high. So analog signals are less accurate because of use of RLC, whereas digital signals are very accurate. It does not have any kind of impact with noise and disturbance because it consists of zeros and ones only, right? So it won't vary. If something is varying, then it can affect the